Ho ho ho, today we are doing a thing, and today's thing, ladies and gentlemen, is a spoiler review on a documentary that I watched a couple of days ago. What I will do is, before we get onto that, I have some announcements for you guys. Then I just want to share with you some shout outs and some little bit of updates on what is happening with the channel at the moment. So, in the top right, I'm going to put up a card for a YouTuber who is very much awesome. So, Alice Georgia WDW, that is for you. Be sure to go and check her channel out if you have not done so. And she does some great Disney content, and it's awesome. And she's just recently come back from Disney World, so be sure to go and check that out. And yeah, that's for that. Next one is for Park Hopping Mad. I did a little bit of a contest in my Discord server. If you are not part of the Discord server, you can join it in with the link down below in the description. But I wanted a name for all my subscribers and followers. So instead of saying ladies and gentlemen, I want to say Zackpack. That is the new name for you guys who are watching, who are subscribed, who are possibly going to subscribe in the future. So that is, from now on, we are now going to say, instead of hey, today we are doing a thing, and today's thing, ladies and gentlemen, is, we are now going to say hey, today we are doing a thing, and today's thing, Zackpack, is. So that is a change for that. All links will be down in the description below. So Alice, Georgina, Walt Disney World, Park Hopping Mad, and one more from Fiona and Scott's Adventures. Now, if you have not seen it already, in the comments, Merry Zackmas is a thing that's happening in the comments. So, what we are going to do all throughout Vlogmas, and possible Vlogmases in the future, Merry Zackmas is going to be a continuous thing throughout the videos and other aspects of the channel. So be sure to keep your eyes open for that. Again, all the descriptions links will be in the description down below. And without further ado, let's get on to today's video. Zackpack. So, intro is done, announcements are done. Today's video, I recently watched Walt, oh wait, let me get the name of it. Walt, the man behind the myth, on Netflix. A really good documentary actually about Mr. Disney, in which I also want to wish Walt a happy birthday. It is his birthday today, as this video is uploaded, so if you have not done so already on any social media, be sure to go and wish Mr. Walt Disney a happy birthday. But today's video is going to be a little bit of a spoiler review and my favourite parts of Walt, the man behind the myth. If you didn't if you've not seen one of these before, I did one for the Jacksepticeye's How Did We Get Here World Tour, and I will leave that in the top right for you here, so you can go and check that out in case you are a fan of Jacksepticeye or what have you. But with on to this, it was very informative. I did really enjoy it. I loved it. It was very informative. There's only a few things that I actually didn't know, in which I thought there were going to be more, so that's kind of a disappointment. But saying that, I am a huge fan of Walt history anyway, so I enjoyed most of it, and it was nice to actually know and hear it from somebody else that actually has have more solid proof than me from just doing videos. The whole thing was set out really nicely as well. Diane Disney Miller, his daughter, was like the main person who put it all together, in which it was her stories, Roy E. Disney's, who was Roy Disney's son and Walt's nephew, and just other people that worked with him. The Sherman brothers were in there, Bob Gurr was in there. Just so many great people that worked with Walt over the years when he was alive, and they shared all these experiences that they had with working with such a magnificent person. Now, there is one thing that I want to actually point out in this video. They were calling Walt a taskmaster, in which he was strict and that he had a high expectation of things. And my answer to this is, if you are the leading person in animation or the leading person in your field of work or expertise, your standards are going to be high. You're not going to give praise all the time, because everyone would expect that for you to be easy to please. Now, that being said, Walt is a magnificent man, and his expertise was second to none. He was the leading in all things animation from when he got that start. Mickey Mouse, Oswald was great. He was the first person to use Technicolor, first full-length feature animated film. All of these things Walt wouldn't have got if he wasn't a little bit strict in the workplace. You can't expect Walt to be all lenient all the time, can you, if he wants to be the face of animation? And obviously that work has been put into it now, because look at him. Look at his company. Look at what he has made. Bob Iger is currently the face of Disney. And that's by no surprise, because Bob Iger, to me personally, is just as good as Disney, as Walt, as Roy Disney, his brother, who was there for a couple of months as CEO before he passed away. Bob Iger is by far my personal favourite CEO, compared to obviously underneath Walt and Roy, so my third favourite CEO of the face of Disney. And Disney wouldn't be where it is today if he was lenient, but they were saying he was a taskmaster, that he was hard to please, that he never gave out praise. Bearing in mind, this was a very short section. This was like the downward spiral of like, oh, everyone's mad, whatever. But in terms of it, you've got to look at it. If you want results, are you going to be nice, or are you going to be a little bit more harder to get those results on the staff? Walt had the right idea. Walt was the man at the time who wanted everything. He wanted it just right. And obviously now Disney, they do everything just right up until this, and it's all thanks to Walt. He is the one that started all of this as a journey, and the end result is still many a year to come. But that was the part that got me a little bit in it, and I got very defensive over that. But in terms of everything else, it was so well done. There was some great people on there that worked with Disney. Like I said, the Sherman brothers were there, Bob Gurr, his daughter Diana Disney Miller, her husband, I can't think of his name, something Miller. There were just so many great people in there, just praising Walt for his work, and it was brilliant. I loved it. I really, really did. So yeah, it was great to watch. It was good to learn some new things. Like I said, I didn't really learn that much from it. I learned about 2 or 3 things that I didn't know. But there were some good facts as well that not many people would have known. Like, Walt was an avid model train collector, and he had a I think it was a 1/8 scale of a famous train that he really enjoyed, that he saw and got into, and he had it in his backyard as like a rideable train. There were just so many facts that were just great and to hold on to. It was such a good documentary about Walt, and it was like there was parts of it where it was an interview, and it was during the time of Disneyland, where he was promoting Disneyland as much as he could, and just knocked it out of the park. It was like talking some parts of like the history of his life, because obviously Walt didn't have, you know, the best upbringing, because his father didn't believe in him for being a cartoonist, sorry, not a drawer. So we didn't really have the support of his parents like people do nowadays when they choose to do whatever. But all that aside, it was very, very entertaining to watch. I enjoyed it. Personally, my favourite parts of the movie, of the documentary, was it probably had to be the end, where towards the end they did show the Walt Disney Family Museum up in San Francisco, where everything from Walt's office and Walt's personal collection is there, where you can view all the old Alice comedies, the Oswald comedy, the Oswald cartoons, the Laugh-O-Grams. You can see them all there. There's so many to see and do. Original sketches from Walt are there, I believe. There's just a whole section, I believe, on like all of the things that inspired Walt to become a cartoonist. It just looked such a great place to go for Disney fanatics, and I love that so much. I really, really do, and I hope that one day I do get to go there. And oh man, it just looks so good. It really, really did. But yeah, it was very fascinating to see that even Walt had his struggles, and that if Walt can do it, then anyone can do it. Let's think that Walt has to be one of the most influential people that ever lived for pursuing his dream. And to be honest, if you don't pursue a dream, you're not going to get anywhere. Like, personally, this for me is kind of a dream. I enjoy interaction with people. I enjoy talking about my favorite subjects. I enjoy playing games. I enjoy talking about music. Disney is my life pretty much. I enjoy talking to you guys about it. I enjoy commenting and responding and viewing all of those comments that come pouring in. And I really, really just want to let you all know that if you want something, you have to pursue it. Because Walt himself was a pursuer of dreams, and look where that got him. Look where that got his company that started. Sure, he had hardships and financial issues and everything else to begin with, but that's just the struggles of making it big. If you don't make it big, you're not going to struggle. And if you don't struggle, you're not going to make it big. It works both ways. It does. It really does. And truthfully, if you don't have those struggles personally, then you're never going to become strong in your beliefs of following your dream. Because if you'll just give up, and if you don't push through and persevere with them, then you're just gonna give up. And it's not fair on not only you, but it's not fair on the world, where you can share your talent. Oh gosh. Where you can share your talent with the world. If you don't share your talents with the world, then really what is the point of you having talents? And I think that's the message that Walt wants. Personally, that's the message that I believe Walt is sending to the world. If you have a talent and you want the world to see it, pursue it, make it big, go through the hardships and the struggles, and at the end of the day, be sure to always keep on track of what you believe is right, and eventually it will be right. People won't always believe. People like Walt's father, Elias, didn't believe he would make a career out of it, or a job, or anything out of it. He just thought it was a waste of time. And it clearly wasn't, because if it was a waste of time and Walt gave up, then what would that prove? To me personally, Walt is my idol. He is amazing. He was the pinnacle of dream makers, in a sense. I really do believe that was his message, and that's the kind of message that documentary gave off. So the only thing I can say really is, if you are interested in watching it yourself, go on to Netflix. It should be on there for a substantial amount of time. I only saw it, and it was like the first time I watched it. I'm not sure how long it was on there, how long it's going to be on there, because I know Netflix changes it up every so often. So if you want to go and see it, be sure to go check it out. It's called Walt, the Man Behind the Myth. I will leave it on the screen for you here, so you can go and check it out and what have you. But that's pretty much all I've got the time for in this video. So have a great day, a great night, whatever time it is for you guys, and as always, Zach Pack, stay classy.